Hello again. I was thinking about something today. Talked about my marriage and all that. I talked about a bunch of things she did wrong. Not all of them. A bunch of things I did wrong. Not all of them yet. And some of the things I did right. Not even all of them. But it occurred to me today, I never talked about any of the things that my wife did right. Now, it wasn't all bad. There were good things that she did. That moth is really loud. Speaking of really loud. Anyway, there were good things that she did. I don't want somebody to think that all she did was tear me down emotionally and then never do anything at all. Like, she would cook me meals. There were times when I'd be working late and she would stay up late and cook me an extra meal after the kids had gone to bed and all that, just to make sure I ate. And of course, I asked her to go to bed. I told her she didn't need to keep doing that. She needed to go to bed because she needed sleep, and the kids were going to need her in the morning. I was going to be sleeping for half the morning because I got home really late, but she stayed up and cooked me meals. Whenever I had my moving business, unfortunately that moving business didn't really make a lot of money. That one was a bust, and it went under after a year and a half. It really didn't make enough money. I was just trying to stick to it long enough so that it could grow, and it just never did. But she was the secretary. She'd take the calls and schedule the jobs and all that stuff, because a lot of those calls would come in while we were already on a job, me and the guy that I was paying to help me. I don't know if he wants his name said on YouTube, so I'm not going to say it, but he was really good. I didn't really do him very right either. I mean, in hindsight, I kind of regret his pay scale. Even though I didn't make enough, he also didn't make enough. Now, I said before that there were 3 times during our 16-year marriage that I was without a job. During those 3 times, she was working. For some reason, she's always been able to make more money than me, even doing the same job. All except for the last one we had together. I made $1 more an hour than her, and that was just because I started before her. Except I started 3 or 4 years before her. It was about 3.5 years before her I started. Something like that. Anyway. She'd buy me pants whenever my pants would tear. I mean, I think the most pair of pants that I had at one time while we were married was 6. I'd wear the same pants over and over. I mean, my tastes are actually very simple. I wear the same types of shirts. I mean, if I could have gotten all the same shirt in the same color, I would have done that, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I did the same thing for the pants. I mean, honestly, I could buy the pants that I want, buy enough for a whole week, and you'd never know that I was wearing a different pair of pants every day. Just because I find something that I like and I stick to it. People with autism and ADHD do that, which I've already gotten my diagnosis. I'm not autistic, though I do have some autistic traits. Well, people with ADHD have some autistic traits, or at least shared traits. Let's see. When I was working at River Run, especially when I was working at River Run, because it's all sand. I don't know if you've ever walked on sand for 10 to 16 hours at a time, but concrete floors do less damage to your feet than sand. So every once in a while she'd rub my feet. It felt really good too. A lot of that pain went away, at least for a day or two. I'd have to go back, destroy my feet again. Pretty sure it messed up my knees and hips too. Anyway, even though she didn't like me having friends over or family over, she did try to be a somewhat agreeable hostess. Offered drinks. If there was food to snack on and people seemed a little snacky, she'd bring something or offer something. So it wasn't all bad. I don't want to give the impression that it was all bad. Some of it actually was pretty good. But when it was bad, it was bad. When it was good, it was good. I want to make sure that I take accountability, but I also want to make sure that she's given her just due. She did very abusive things that hurt me a lot. Just messed up my mind bad. And I did things that were abusive to her. I mean, me cheating on her, that's the worst thing. Me cheating on her did hurt her bad. And I think that it did mess with her head a bit. I never said I was innocent. I'm not. And it's not, honestly, it's not that her behavior was abusive that bothers me. I mean, it does bother me because I'd rather it wasn't. I'd also rather that my behavior wasn't. But it's the fact that there's no accountability. Won't even admit that she did anything wrong. And even there were times that she did apologize, but nothing ever changed. She just kept doing the same thing. That's what bothers me. The lack of accountability. No admission of guilt, no change of behavior. Whatever, I know I'm not ever going to get that. So, yeah. I did wrong, she did wrong. I did right, she did right. It wasn't all bad. She did do good things. There were some good things that she did that I'd rather keep to myself. Not because I don't want the world to know that she did good things, but some things you should just reserve for yourself. There were good memories and good feelings that it's not the world's place to know. I'll keep those comments behind closed doors. But one of my regrets in all this is that some of those things that I would feel with her, I won't feel again. Because even if one day, way down the road, someone else ends up in the position of wife, it won't be the same. Will it be better? I don't know. Will it be worse? I don't know. But it'll never be the same. So, anyway, I just wanted to make sure people understood that I'm not trying to vilify her. That's not what any of this is about. If I mention something that she has done or is doing, it's not to make her look like a bad person. It is for me to express what I'm dealing with right now. It's something to anchor when I talk about my emotional state. It actually doesn't have anything to do with her. Yeah. Anyway. I would make a longer video, but quite frankly, I've run out of things to talk about, at least at this moment. There's work stuff, but I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. Well, everyone, y'all have a good night. And something you need to think about is, when you're complaining about somebody in your life, while you're thinking about the things they did wrong, think about the things they did right also. And then ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Even if you are 100% a victim, there are things you did wrong. Even if you didn't do wrong to that other person, you may have still done wrong nonetheless. So, there's always room to improve and always room to just be better.